Welcome to the Random Green Podcast. Yes, the Random Green Podcast today is being brought to you by, well, nothing. Believe it or not, I know the world famous Random Green Podcast is being brought to you by nothing. Why? Is it because I'm too random for you? Or is it because I just have nothing to talk about in this particular podcast? But I wanted to. Well, actually, I do have something to talk about. I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, how well they're doing this year. Now, last week against the Green Bay Packers, they had a lead against Green Bay. And if it wasn't for that, I think the turning point of that game was when they had that punt return. And I can't remember what player it was. I didn't really, honestly, I watched bits and pieces of it. I watched half the game, I would say, or 3/4 of the game. But I remember that because they were up 28-0, and they had a lead, right? They dropped the ball. It was 28-0, and then Green Bay, after recovering the punt coverage team recovered the fumble. Green Bay scored a touchdown, 20, and it really shouldn't have been there. I mean, if you think about it, it was late in the second quarter. Really, the Vikings had no business turning that ball over, and they really had no business. Giving up that touchdown. Wouldn't have been a touchdown. They would have probably, at the very least, they would have had a 3-and-out, and they would have punted it. And that's another thing I want to talk about is why do these, years past, pro teams or football teams, gridiron football teams would just let that ball go wherever it's going to go. Some of these players, I mean, it's the special teams, they really want to get greedy almost. It's almost like, well, we don't want to have them. We want the ball at the 5-yard line. If it's our 10-yard line, and I believe he caught it tried to fair catch it at the 10-yard line, which, get away from, if it rolls, especially late in the second quarter. Why? Why are they doing that? You play to win the game, and you want to score as many points as you can, but you have a 28-0 lead. And you don't want to do anything foolish. It's just like the offense. It's almost like they were setting up for the offense to try to get another touchdown, and that can be dangerous when you have a 4-touchdown lead. You're up 28-0. But in other news, not other news, but in other teams, Denver Broncos won against the Jets, and the Jets play the Vikings this week in London, UK. That's right. London, UK is where the Vikings are playing at. But anyway, I wanted to move on to a very important topic called the creature from the other side of town. Yes, the creature from the other side of town. Yes. Boy, I'm really digging at the bottom of the barrel just to make a podcast, ain't I? To come up with something like that, the creature from the other side of town. Well, there was a creature, and as you know, I'm on this amazing, stellar podcast. did a podcast about the creature from the forest. I believe I did. And this one is a creature from the other side of town. And wherever the creature was at, this person, there was only one person in this town that thought about this creature. Not me, but somebody else. And wherever this person was at was the exact opposite of the exact opposite in length. I mean, from the standpoint of they were the furthest away in relation to other individuals. So this person wanted to know what this creature looked like. So they tried to search for it. The individual tried to search for the creature. So, but again, this creature knew this individual, and he couldn't find, or whatever, the individual couldn't find the creature, because again, the creature was always going to be the furthest away in relation to everyone else. So the most distant away from, for example, if someone's on the north side of town, they'll be on the south part of town. Or if they're in the northwest part of town, the creature will be in the southeast part of town, and vice versa, or if that makes sense, yes. But they were going to be so far away from each other that they were going to be the exact exact. Did I tell you this is amazing? I'm just at a loss for words. It's just so amazing. I just got an email from somebody about this amazing podcast or about this amazing story, and they said, Random Green, put this on your amazing podcast, because this is one that's going to really make everybody fall asleep. I mean, it's going to make everybody excited about the podcast. So, yeah, well, like I say, it's one of those things where, right, I guess but anyway, the individual really wanted to, they really wanted to search for this creature, and they just, this is a big town too, so it's, well, Omaha, I'll just say it's in Omaha, Nebraska. And, well, it's a true story too, because if they're as you know, Omaha is pretty decent size. It's, I mean, if you add the whole metro area, you got Council Bluffs, you got Bellevue, you got Lapillion Vista, or something like that, and then there's a couple other, anyway. But Omaha is a big town, so whenever this creature was, again, the creature was always the furthest away from that person that was thinking about the creature, that knew the creature was actually there. And it always was an eerie feeling. The creature knew what the individual was thinking all the time, even though they were the opposite ends of town and in the furthest direction from it in relation to anywhere else. If that makes sense. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen, cool, but I doubt anybody will. No offense. Thank you for listening to the Random Green Podcast. Remember, if you want, like, share, subscribe, or unsubscribe, or whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you. But anyway, thank you for listening. Have a great day.